Hello, this is your host Greg from Microsoft Hates Greg, and I am here with a early Christmas present for all of the fans of Mushkookum. Now, as surprising as it may seem, that early Christmas present is not this festive holiday image we have here in front of us, but rather it is the next version of Mushkookum, Mushkookum Gamma. And I don't mean to brag, but this could very well be the greatest software program of all time. Now, that's obviously an exaggeration, but I hope it conveys my sense of excitement in terms of bringing this to you. What we're going to do in this video is I'm going to give you an overview of Mushkookum Gamma, and I think hopefully you'll see why I'm so excited to bring this version out. It really came together far better than I could have ever hoped. So if you just for quick review, this is the old version, the beta version actually, where I magically lost the panic button. That was a bug, but no matter. We've fixed all of that. But as you can see, we have our field selector and the way that we have our calculations, our measures here, and the way we go about this, creating a measures, we'd select our date. We'd come down here to something like Chelsea-Iden's duration, pick our things that we want, generate the DAX, etc., create. So this is the beta version. So now let's take a look at the new version. And as you can see here, you get a new icon. So I went with the conspiracy board, Greg's profile picture crossed out with a big red X in spray paint. So let's go ahead and launch the big reveal for Mushkookum Gamma. And here we go. So as you can see, we've got a couple new icons up here, one for GitHub repository, one for my YouTube channel. But as you notice over here, we've got the calculations pane and the model pane, the columns and all of that is completely gone now. So the new version, you would go down here and let's just do what we just did. We would pick Chelsea-Iden's duration. And as you can see, I've moved the measure and column up to the top. Our generate DAX button is always at the top now. And since you're not picking a column over here, you've got a column, you set it over here now. So we just would say, set the date. And now we've got our sum and our days and generate the DAX. So, obviously it's a couple extra clicks for at least one column. But I think it makes it much more intuitive in terms of I'm able to put some hints in here as far as what each of these columns really helps when you have multiple columns that you're picking. You'll also notice that I preserved the table and the date and the column together. That was important because there's a lot of really more complicated quick measures that I couldn't put in the old versions that I can now put in the new versions because they need to span tables. I've actually added about 18 additional quick measures, including caps and find and search and replace from right and a bunch of new ones. I've expanded the DAX source code editing window. Down here, I've added here, so now you can see the format string, the custom format string that's going to be used when creating the quick measure, and you can edit this if you want. And you also see the table that is where the quick measure is going to be created, and you can edit that if you want. I might add in a button to be able to set the table in a later version. The important thing to know about this is that whatever is last selected in this pane, that's whatever table it is, that's what's going to show up here. So if you want to reset that or just go and set one of these again. You'll also notice here I have a notes window, so I now have some notes about each one of the quick measures, and the links to the quick measure gallery now show up over here versus in this panel over here. But the elephant in the room that I've been ignoring thus far is you will see that I have this custom JSON file that you can set. Now what happens then is that, so basically what I've provided the ability to do is for you to create your very own quick measures within Mushkookum by just essentially just adding them to this custom JSON file. Now I'm going to have some upcoming videos that will show exactly how to do this. But essentially think, so here I have this custom measure demo. So just a brief overview of it. Here's the actual code. So if I hit I'll just hit generate DAX on this. But as you can see, like, the min is coming from this minimum, this aggregate sum is coming from this guy. I'll go into a lot more in depth on how to do this, but just know it's super easy. As you can see here, we have all of these pre-created controls. So we have there's actually 11 aggregations, and you can actually switch them between minimum, maximum, or the full sum. All of the aggregations. So there's actually 11 of those elements, and you can see in the tooltip, X aggregate. There's the first two are what you can use in the DAX code, source code, and those get replaced by whatever is in here, right? And then the aggregation and aggregation type, those are what you can use in the JSON file to control, either make these things show up or not show up, and what type they are. You can also control the label, aggregation label. That's the tag in the JSON file to use. There's 11 column controls that you can use, 11 parameter controls that you can use. And we've got some of these nice, once you get past all of those, you can we have these square miles and the area froms and area twos, and I have my weekday return label types and that sort of stuff. So I've got some nice controls that you might find useful in your quick measures. Although I think a lot of the stuff's can be used in these aggregation columns and parameters. And again, these can all be turned on and off within the JSON file interface. So that's really all I had for this episode. Again, like and subscribe so you know exactly when I release the next video, which is going to go really in depth into how to create these your own quick measures. Going to show you what you need to do as far as the JSON file. It'd be really cool. I think you guys are really going to like it because it just really opens up a lot of possibilities. I think being able to set your custom JSON file that you have your own JSON, your own quick measures in. You could set this to a network drive. It really opens it up for more of your corporate BI use, I think, of Mushkookum. But that doesn't mean I'm going to start charging you for it. So don't worry. Anyway, like and subscribe. Merry Christmas to everyone. And I hope you guys all have a great holiday.